is here on the show tonight to interview our special guest. Show highlight the Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alford Sports Talk Show. Football, basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, boxing, tennis, golf, and racing. The Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alford Sports Talk Show. Tune in for all the news and scores, reporting on the games and so much more. The Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alford Sports Talk Show.
Welcome, everybody, to another great episode of the Alford Sports Talk Show. I'm Alan, and today we're going to have a wonderful show like we typically do here on the Alford Sports Talk Show. We're going to have something spectacular. We're going to have a lot of fun. Feel free to chat on all social media platforms. Feel free to do that here on the Alford Sports Talk Show. It's going to be fantastic, and it's going to be something that you're going to be thrilled to be along with us on this ride. And the nice thing about it is you're going to be blessed in something that in ways you can't even imagine. We have so much to discuss, so much to unpack. First and foremost, I'm going to go ahead and just thank the great people that joined us on the Alford Sports Talk Show this week. We've had some great guests, and it's been phenomenal. I really can't thank you guys enough for all that you do for supporting the Alford Sports Talk Show. The comments, the likes, hey, I saw this and I really appreciate you doing this interview. All those things really do matter. It's something that I can't really put into words. And we're going to definitely discuss a lot here tonight. So, yes, let me start with the interview I did today, and that was a phenomenal interview with Adam Unger. If you haven't got a chance to come online and see any of the interview, posts that we saw, put it up today, you're just chiming in. Guess what? You definitely are in luck, because let me just give you some of the backstory, and that's Adam right there. Adam Unger was drafted by the Yankees, and that was his goal, to play Major League Baseball. That was actually my goal too, to play Major League Baseball, second base, same position as Adam. And, his went further because he actually got drafted and got signed by the Yankees. My dream ended basically when the scout said he wanted to take a second look at me. He did, but there was no contract. There was no offer. There was no, we want to see you again or anything like that. So as life goes on, you get older, you start to realize that, you know what? God put me here for something different than maybe baseball. And I had to come to realization, and so did Adam. But, he's got definitely a lot further than me. I didn't get drafted. He did. And guess what? His plan A didn't work out. But you know what? He had something to fall back on, and that was his singing. The man is a fantastic opera singer. Now, he did become an attorney as well. That's something he did. But he kept singing throughout the time of him being in the major leagues, as far as in the farm system. And he kept singing. It tells you a lot of stories about how he got asked to sing here, to do this, and he kept singing throughout the years. He did go and become an attorney. He's still an attorney, but you know what? It worked out because now he went from transition from opera singer to having this phenomenal event that is going to be coming up on January 13th, right there, January 13th, 2026 in Carnegie Hall. I want you guys to pack the house because there's going to be some special guests there, and I'm already excited about it, and it's in August. But just talking to him, who's the founder of All Star Encore, I just got in and, just checking about it, and, he's going to have, there you go, Bernie Williams there, the New York great. And he did say Bernie's phenomenal guitarist, musician. And even though he did play baseball for the Yankees, just as awesome as he was baseball player, and even maybe more so, he is a musician now. So he's going to be performing there along with some others. He's going to have Bernie Williams. Let me put up some more pictures here about Bernie. For those who are not familiar with Bernie, it's there you go. He's going to have big man Bernie Williams right there. There you go. And then the same guy, it's phenomenal. Again, with Bernie, he had a fantastic major league career, but when your time is up, he found another passion, and that's being a guitarist, musician. He probably played, musician, guitar, I would assume, during his career, and he just continued to do something different. So, yes, he's going to be at this venue. But wait, there's more. You're going to have, it's, let me take a look here and pull up some additional things that is going to happen there on January 13th, 2026. Going to have somebody, another familiar face that, especially in the New York area, that you guys are definitely familiar with. And that is my man right here, Stephon Marbury. He's going to be there as well. He's going to be there too on January 13th, 2026. That's going to be really awesome. Right there. Man went to China. You got to watch the documentary. It's fantastic. Played for the Knicks. Did great there, but there were some bumps in the road there. Went to China. It was a life-changing event. And he did phenomenal there as well. Guess who else is going to be there? Jose Reyes is going to be in the house too, all on January 13th, 2026. That's Jose Reyes. He's got an album and everything. That's that's all gonna be there. And then but wait, there's more. That's you have right there, Jonathan Tettleman, fantastic tenor and world renowned. That's his album cover. I played some of the music in the story there, so he's gonna be there too. And yeah, so just goes to show you in life, we all have talent and skills that we need to enhance. And if your plan A doesn't work out, have a plan B or C, and just run with it. And Jonathan Tettleman will be there as well. So that's going to be awesome. It's going to be at it's going to be at the renowned right there, Carnegie Hall. And it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be right there. It's going to be wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful event. Wonderful. Man. Yeah, so that was all from Adam Unger. In fact, let me go ahead and show you here a little of
something I've wanted to do for many, many years, but it's sort of like the ultimate culmination of my athletic career, my music career, and also my sports career. So I had this crazy idea of like what if we could get a really famous professional athlete that is also a great musician to go on stage and be the collaborative artist with one of the greatest opera singers in the world on like an amazing stage, like the Metropolitan Opera, or in this instance, I'm happy to announce Carnegie Hall, where we have struck a deal where Bernie Williams, the New York Yankee great, and may I also add, really, even before he was a Yankee, great musician, one of the great musicians in the world. I don't think he gets enough, like, people know he plays the guitar, but this guy is literally one of the great guitarists in the world. And he's definitely, for sure, the greatest athlete musician of all time. And Bernie is going to add to his already incredible musical and athletic legacy by becoming the first professional athlete musician to accompany and collaborate with one of the great opera singers in the world today, tenor Jonathan Tettleman, when they both take the stage of Carnegie Hall, Stern Hall and Carnegie Hall, the main hall, on January 13th, 2026.
Man, that's phenomenal.
One of the things that I'm going to have Stefan do is actually go back to his high school in Coney Island, Lincoln High School, and bring some of the teenagers there that have never been to Carnegie Hall over to Carnegie Hall to see this concert. And actually, Steph admitted to me the other week when I was with me, he's like, you know what? I've never been to Carnegie Hall. So, wow. I mean, this is really about opening up access to that. This is really what means a lot to me with this concert. It's very, very important that we open up the arts to everyone, and make it accessible, make it enjoyable, and show the kids, like, hey, why not you? Why can't you be on the stage at Carnegie Hall? And like, listen, I'm just a lawyer, from New York, and I've had this idea actually since 2012. I first approached Bernie with this idea in 2012. So for all you people out there that have a dream, this didn't happen overnight. Yes, I'm standing on the shoulders of other people, my dad and everyone that's helped me over the years. Ray Negron, Emer Callejas, Jose's agent, Steve Fortunato, Bernie's agent. But, this is a 12, 13 years of me pursuing this idea and believing in it, and now getting a chance to see it, come to fruition, to be able to share it with people.
Yeah, see, that's a great point, that it wasn't an overnight success. That's 2012. We're in 2025. That's 13 years. And that's just shows you that if you just keep persevering in life, you keep staying consistent, you keep trying to get better, keep having a belief in something, and it's coming to fruition on January 13th, 2026. I mean, you guys, you got to come out and support this event, pack the house. The prices, that's another thing he told me, are very reasonable. $40 to $140. Stay connected to the Allen Alford Sports Talk show. He even said it during the full version of the interview. Full version of the interview was just under 31 minutes. It was 30 minutes and about a half. He told me he's going to email me some discount codes where you guys get another 10% off. So even at that $40 to $140, that's if you're right next to the stage where you described it. All the seats in Carnegie Hall are fantastic. If you cannot pay for the $140, you don't have to. Very reasonably priced. It's going to be a night that you cannot miss. The tickets go on sale August 14th, 2025. That is Thursday. That's this Thursday. And I know the Allen Alford Sports Talk show is going to be there January 13th, 2026. And, I am originally from Brooklyn, New York. I was raised in Brooklyn, New York. For those who don't know, lived in New York from the time I was born till the age of 26. Now I live here in Tampa, Florida. So I'm going to be there in January. I know it's going to be a little cold. But man, when you get inside this venue right here, I'll show you that to you again. It's going to warm your heart right there. That is world renowned Carnegie Hall. I mean, and I'm just so flattered and thrilled that Adam Unger came on the Allen Alford Sports Talk show to share this story and this passion. And, that's 13 years in the making, and I'll just share this one other thing with you, that a lot of times when people hate on people and they do things that are not cool, it's a lot of times just because people are seeing what I like to say, the iceberg theory. 90% of an iceberg, no matter how big it is below the surface. The part that you're seeing above the surface is 10%. I like to equate success that way. You're seeing, if somebody's successful, 10% of the fruits of their labor. You don't see the 90% that happens backstage, behind the scenes, behind the success. This show, I'm going to put it right here on the Allen Alford Sports Talk show. I'm going to speak into existence. I fully expect this show to pack the house and sell out in Carnegie Hall on January 13, 2026. But he just said 13 years. He's known Bernie, Stephon Marbury for many, many years. You know what I'm saying? And again, it's the iceberg thing. So when you hate on someone, you're seeing just the 10%. The 90% you don't see the hard work, the sleepless nights, the pressure, the stress, the setbacks. You don't see that. And I'll just give my own personal story. Last Thursday was the very first time. If you haven't been watching the show the last week or so, last Thursday, July 31st, the last day in July, was the very first time in the Allen Alford Sports Talk show history that we covered an NFL training camp, and that was for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. First time ever. This show was just around the 5-year mark. On that same very day, we surpassed 500 interviews. Now, including, the interview I did today with Adam, we're at 504. But at the time, we were at 499, and that we eclipsed the 500 on July 31st, right there for the first time ever at Tampa Bay training camp. And it was a fantastic day, fantastic event. Go Bucks. We tremendously appreciate coming out there, covering the event. I'm really praying it's not the last. But from that time, just that second question I asked the coach, end up 18 different stories, 18 different news article stories was generated from that second question. You can look at and ask me for the links. I'll share them with you. And it was asking about Shiloh Sanders. My first question was about Coach Sanders coming by. The second question was about Shiloh. I actually wanted to interview Shiloh there at the Bucks training camp. Since I was only promised the one day, it was either take the guarantee of 4 interviews or roll your dice and kind of get guys coming off practice. If I was going to be there multiple days, yes, I would have rolled the dice. But being that it was a one-time deal, I couldn't roll the dice in that situation. I'm not a gambler. I had to kind of go with the guarantee, which I did. And you know what? God was in our favor. It worked out even better because I asked the question to the coach, and that question ended up being expired by 18 different articles. Props to Jamel Dean. Jamel Dean, he went ahead and shared our interview on LinkedIn. I tremendously appreciate it. I had so many notifications about it. It kind of got missed by me. I hate to say it, but I noticed it about 2 or 3 days later. I'm usually right on top of it. That normally doesn't happen, but one did slip through the cracks. I was like, oh my goodness, I missed Jamel Dean. He shared it. Props to Jamel Dean for going ahead and sharing cornerback, Jamel Dean for sharing our interview. That merely means a lot. Props to Shiloh Sanders, because on Monday, I went there Thursday. Monday, the Bucks posted up that, Shiloh's doing great. He had a knockdown. I told him, basically what happened on Thursday. I got a chance to speak to coach, and he said, quote unquote, you have a very good shot of making the team. I'm praying that he keeps pushing, he keeps passing the tests. He has to keep passing those tests. Preseason, he said the night before was one. The games tomorrow's the first game of preseason one. He's got to keep checking those boxes. Keep pushing, staying positive, keep doing what you're doing, signing those autographs, be fan friendly, don't change anything. It's just keep doing what you're doing. If you're Shiloh Sanders, and you're gonna make it. And I have more to say on that a bit later. But yes, that was fantastic. So when you hate on people, think about it first. You're seeing 10%, not the 90 that's below the surface. You trust me, you're seeing just the 10%. And it's fantastic you're seeing the 10%, but there's more to the story. Getting that Bucks opportunity. Now 504 interviews in 5 years. So, it just worked out that way. But, all glory be to God. I appreciate that opportunity. And I'm a man of faith, and it actually worked out even better than I envisioned, because I'm glad that it did work out better, because I couldn't go to the training camp with that type of pressure that if I ask a question, I want to have 18 articles inspired by it. You would have just too much pressure on yourself. It would just be too much pressure, and setting up that high of an expectation for yourself, you might put too much pressure on yourself, and you may not be yourself. And that's the thing, if you put in the work and you're doing something, when your opportunity comes, you got to shine, but you should be prepared for that opportunity, because you've been putting in the work. And just be true to who you are. I didn't change anything. I stayed who I am, had my shirt like I have now. I came there. The only thing that was a little different than what I normally would do is I wore a fedora hat, and that's only because I knew it was a Bucks training camp. I was going to be out in the middle of the sun. The fans get most of the shade, but if you ever been to Tampa Bay Bucks training camp, the players are out in the sun, and so is the media. So I knew with my bald head, that's probably not a good idea to be out there for a couple of hours without some type of protection on my head, and that's the reason why I brought it. I was like, well, if I bring one of those kind of like golf hats, which are really cool, I said it might be a little too casual. So what a fedora. But yes, keep going out there. Like he said, you can go out. If you chase your dream, you can be on Carnegie Hall. And, they're going to play it. That's going to be a fantastic event. The Alford Sports Talk Show will be there, and I'm excited about being there too. And I'm going to have a lot more on that as well. Just in case you're joining us again, it's January 13th, 2026, Carnegie Hall. Adam Unger is the man. He's the founder of the company that's running it is All Star Encore. And tickets go on sale Thursday, August 14th, 2025. No reason why this thing should not be sold out. And props to Ray Negron. Adam Unger gave him props. There was a couple of other people that did give him props. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to tag you in it. It's just that I couldn't find any of those Instagram handles. Sometimes that's how it is. I couldn't find it. And some people are more private. I don't know, but I couldn't find it. But yes, props to Ray Negron, because, we are friends and we're cool. And that was really cool that Adam said such glaring things about him. And let me just say, yes, thank you to Tampa Bay Bucks. Very, very appreciative of that opportunity. Way to go, Ray. That's right. See, you never know. That's another thing. If you hate on people, you don't get props. You don't get props like you do in interviews. My man gave Ray Negron some props in the interview. That's why you can't be a hater in life, man. Be a positive person. Even if somebody's doing something you aspire to do, use it as motivation. Don't be a hater. And Yes. So make sure you guys watch the Bucks tomorrow. Let me go ahead and say yes. And people on Instagram really appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. And yeah, definitely that is fantastic. So I also wanted to talk about the other interviews that I did as well. There's it's I'm just really blessed to be surrounded by such wonderful people. Props to because of Sam Piazza coming through and doing that interview with the Alford Sports Show. Sam Piazza, for those who don't know, is the second, believe it or not, the second guest that we've had on the Alford Sports Show that has Down syndrome. The man does not let that stop him. He's a true inspiration, a legend. Because of Sam, there are two things. There's the movie Because of Sam, and there is also the documentary Because of Sam. You got to check that out. Got to watch that interview too. It's Sam Piazza. Samuel Piazza is the full name, but he goes by Sam because of Sam. And just a great inspiration. His team is the Bucks, but the thing about him, he has a job with PDQ in the Carrollwood community. Props to PDQ. They saw our interview and gave it a like. Props to PDQ. It's PDQ chicken right there. That's a blessing, man. They liked the post right there on Twitter, right there, and props to them for doing that. But yes, he's an employee for PDQ Chicken, and he's been there for 12 years. And not only that, he does great work in the community. I'm talking about Sam Piazza, and he's awesome, man. And he's inspiring. His story is inspiring, and he's achieved so much. And and the man, I don't look at Sam as somebody who quote has Down syndrome. I look at him as Sam Piazza. Great man, great individual, great story. You got to watch that interview, and we didn't let. And that's the thing. I'm a man of faith. The devil tried to step in on our interview. I'm not gonna lie to you, because what I mean by that is we had a day set up, and then it started to rain, and he was having some technical difficulties on his end. It was kind of like when we first did the interview, it was coming in really pixelated. You know how it is when a storm comes, and I saw it as a challenge, but we didn't let that challenge stop us. And we didn't let it stop us, and we kept pushing through it, and we got the interview done. And I'm glad it is, because Sam Piazza is number 2 who has Down syndrome, but he won't be the last. I've already gotten requests because of that. And, that's a real blessing. Definitely props to Sam Piazza, Nick Alteri as well, who was the first. That's his best friend. So it's just really inspiring, and really appreciate you guys. And thank you so much, Sam Piazza, for being another one of our interviews we've published this week. And last but not least, Jarvis Courtney Sr. Definitely appreciate him as well. And definitely that was awesome for him to join the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. He's an offensive line. He's trying to go ahead and complete that goal of making it to the NFL. I don't even want to call it a dream, because, could be, people could interpret a dream as just that, you're dreaming. I look at it as he's trying to reach that goal of playing in the NFL. Definitely take a look at our interview as well. In fact, I'm going to mention something about Jarvis, and his story is inspirational too. He's motivated by his son, and he's part of the IFA, the International Football Alliance. Yes, and Jarvis Courtney Sr., and he is a returning guest. He's a returning guest on the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show, the offensive line. Make sure you check out that interview as well. And let's take a look here. We have chat going in. Hi, Alan. Any news of the UFL coming to Tampa or Orlando? Let me just put on this here too. I haven't heard anything official yet. I do think more than anything, it sounds to me like it's going to be more in Orlando. And that's kind of bittersweet for me. For those who don't know, I covered the Orlando Guardians, which was part of the XFL at the time. The Orlando Guardians, the team lasted a year. Then they merged with the UFL. They decided to do a big merger with the USFL and the XFL. They merged to form the UFL. Well, when they did that, unfortunately, that meant that some of the teams had to be let go. And they did let 4 teams go. One of those teams was the Orlando Guardians. And that was a team that I covered. And it was in Orlando, which I do live here in the Tampa area. For those who don't know this too, this is something to know. To get to an Orlando Guardians game, it literally takes me about 2 hours. If the game is at 4, I have to be in my car no later than 2 o'clock. And it's really an hour and about an hour drive, I would say. Let's say hour drive. Hour and 10 if it's not crazy traffic. Well, from Tampa to Orlando, as the traffic has gotten worse and worse and worse. In my time living here in Florida, it's about a 2-hour drive. About a 2-hour drive. I'm not complaining. I signed up for it and everything, but that's what you're looking at. I marketed. I did everything I could to promote the Guardians. When it came time to whether they're going to keep our team or not, because they made it clear they were going to cut some teams off, I said it on this show here on the Alford Sports Talk show. Unfortunately, as much as I would like to say I am not getting cut as far as my team, I could not lie to my audience, and I'm never going to do that. I'm going to be honest with you. I said it like this. I don't believe that the Orlando Guardians is going to survive this merger. Lo and behold, it came to fruition, and it was true. And the reason why it came that way is because in Orlando, there is a lot of options for you to do things. You can eat to your heart desires. Every restaurant you can think of is there. Everyone. There isn't one that you can think of that's not there. Number 2, you have theme parks galore. You have so many other options than watching a UFL game. I've said it before and I'll say it again. There's the NFL and then there's everybody else. There's the NFL and then there's everybody else. Meaning, you can be number 2, 15, 5, 2, 4, whatever you want, but you're not taking that number 1 spot. That number 1 spot is the NFL. That's just clear. And I was coming to UFL in Orlando, I could tell you, I do think that with the new ownership that's coming in, I do think that it's going to, bring some more interest. But I think by coming back to Orlando, I think that's a mistake. I just think that at this point, the reason why I say that, as much as it'll be more convenient for me to have a team that's actually in my state. Right now, the UFL, that's another thing I want to bring up. I can't cover a team that's actually in the same state as Florida because there is no team that's in Florida as of right now. If I cover, which I'm covering the Arlington Renegades, that's in Texas. And the great thing is the UFL had it fantastic with you doing the Zoom, joining, and they made it almost feel like you were there. But physically, I wasn't there, but they made it accessible. But the thing about it is, I just think if this is, which I believe is the last hurrah with them adding another owner, you can't miss now. You have to, he minimum, he said 2 teams, but more up to 4, which I think is going to be 4. I think it's going to be 4 teams that are going to be cut, and they're going to move 4 teams to someplace else. Reason why this is a real risky move, I think it would have been a much better move in the beginning, is because half of the league is going to be very upset the way this turns out. Half of the league is going to be very, very upset the way this turns out, because you're potentially moving minimum of 2, but I think it's going to be closer to 4. I do agree on that. You're going to upset half the league. And it's just hard for you to have a business where you're upsetting half of your clientele and then started with another 4. And it just it's business as usual. That's just, and I just think I think it would be better if they're going to have to settle on a team in Florida. I think Tampa's your better bet than it would be here in Orlando. I just think it's a proven. You've tried it in Orlando. That is for the XFL. It did not work. Unfortunately, it did not work. And I think if they do have it in Tampa, and I think if coincidentally, which I will talk about Tom Brady a little bit, I think there's a chance. I think that will be kind of like that lifeline that the UFL needs, because I think it's right now, I want the league to survive. Me being Alan Alford, the Alan Alford Sports Talk Show, I want the league to survive. I see the value in the league, especially for players, especially for fans, especially for your community. Hey, if you have somebody who's not working and he's in your community, that sometimes can lead to issues. We've seen that before, where somebody's unemployed and they don't have an opportunity, it can lead to an issue. The UFL provides an opportunity for guys to have a job and also get paid to do something they love that they would do for free. But I don't think now the margin of error is very small, because I think this is the last hurrah. That's why I think you cannot miss on this one. I think if you're going to have 4 teams, this is what you should be looking for if you're the UFL. Where can I go that I'm going to be desired and wanted, that fans are going to come out to watch the game and support? Where is it going to be a situation where they kind of need me, being the UFL, more than I need them? Well, I mean, the UFL needs them really bad too, but it's going to be a situation like that where, you are desired, you are wanted, not like it's and I just think that you need to have it someplace like that. Example, St. Louis Battlehawks, which I think The Rock kind of missed a golden opportunity with the league by not going to St. Louis and visiting the fans there. They were begging for him to come there at the largest market, and he did not go to both championship games and didn't go to a game at all. Now you can see the Battlehawks attendance starting to kind of dwindle down a little bit. Still is the strongest of the league, don't get me wrong, but you could tell it's starting to go down slowly but surely. That's another missed opportunity, I think, for the league. But you cannot miss now. I think I just don't see. The league has not made any money. You've added a new owner. I know he wants to make some money too. You could just look at the obvious and the math where this is trending. So, Mike Repole, if I did mispronounce the last name, I apologize. It's spelled Repole. Could be Repole or Repole. I beg your pardon if I mispronounce that. But I know nobody's in business to lose money. Nobody goes in business to lose money. And I think the league has 1, maybe 2 years, and that's it. That's why I don't want them to put it in a place where it's a real big question mark. I think Orlando is a huge, huge gamble. And I would even say, just yes, you might have new uniforms, new team, but I think that's not going to be enough. That's not going to do it. You need to be where you're wanted. And I think Tampa, yes, and I agree. Tampa, will they play Raymond James again? Yep, more than likely. He did say it's going to be in a smaller venue. What he's pretty much going to do, for those who don't know what has been stated, 2 to 4 teams are going to be new. And he's looking for maybe smaller high school or college stadiums that are not so big, where if you do have, let's say, 10,000 people show up, it looks more full. It doesn't look as empty. It doesn't look as poor on TV. Kind of like what happened with the Rays. I think the Rays playing in Georgetown Minor Field was a blessing, and it kind of like in disguise, because before you had 10, you had, let's say, 5 to 6,000 people in the dome. It looked very, very bare for a stadium that could hold 36, about, around roughly 30 plus thousand people. Now that they're in Georgetown Minor Field that only seats a little less than 11,000, every game is either sold out or very close to sold out. And it just looks so good to have a stadium that's about near capacity every single game. He pretty much wants to do that same type of thing. Smaller venue, more people in the seats, and it'll look more full. So the idea sounds great. There's no guarantee he's going to play in Raymond James, because Raymond James sees 65,000 plus people. You have them in a UFL and you have 4,000 or 5,000 people there. It's going to look real bare. So if they do go to Tampa, I would say they probably won't play at Raymond James. Where they might consider playing is where the Rowdies play. It's also in Tampa, very nice stadium, not too far from the water, a lot smaller venue. I think that will be a very good idea right there. And yeah, I think maybe even that would be something they should consider. But that's pretty much the MO that he's going to be looking at. In fact, let me read what they say. The new owner of the UFL is Mike Rapole, a billionaire entrepreneur and co-founder of Vitamin Water and Body Armor. He is joining the existing ownership group that includes Redbird Capital Partners, Fox, ESPN, Danny Garcia, and Dwayne The Rock Johnson there. Rapole's private equity firm, Impact Capital, will lead the league's business operation. So he's pretty much coming in, new kid on the block, and he's got the keys to the car. Rapole's investment is part of a broader effort to revitalize and expand the UFL. Mike plans to relocate some teams to new markets and potentially expand the league to 10 or 16 teams by 2032. Columbus, Ohio is confirmed. Oh, wow, that's new. Columbus, Ohio is confirmed as one of the new markets. So that's one, meaning they're going to get rid of 3. The league is also looking at smaller venues, as I mentioned in there, like soccer and college football stadiums to enhance the fan experience. So I think if they do play, yeah, it's going to be pretty much like the Rowdy Stadium, which is, I think that is smart. I think just the Rowdy Stadium would be a good opportunity. If you're going to be in Orlando, which I don't think you should go to Orlando, but if you are, there is that smaller, the name slipped my mind, but they do have a soccer field there too. Yeah, and Al Lang Stadium seats 7,227. Yeah, I think that's smaller venues. I think they're going to have a lot of work to get past this hurdle with fans being upset. So Columbus, Ohio, you're getting a new team. I don't know what it's called yet, but that's new. That's new news right there. Columbus, Ohio. Yeah, so it's interesting to see also what The Rock does, because he did put a post out on Twitter that he welcomed the new owner, but is The Rock now going to come back and be re-engaged and come back into the league? And I think all hands are on deck. If he comes back into the league, he squares things away with the Battlehawks, comes out there, you can turn things around. It's not too late. But I just think you need to start moving yesterday. You need to start moving quickly. But I do think not too quickly, do some research. Pay somebody, you don't have to pay them a ton of money, but pay them a little bit of money to do some independent research. Where can I go where it's a smaller venue and people will go to the game that they would need the UFL? St. Louis needs the UFL. Where can we go? Areas like that. Also, you probably want to stay away from the from the NFL, cities that the NFL is in. As I mentioned earlier, it's the NFL and everybody else. Probably want to stay at that neighborhood. So that's what I would think would make sense. I think where the Rowdies play would be a great place there too. That looks like a beautiful stadium as well. And let me just see here. All NFL games streaming on NFLCBS.com. Best viewers on streamboo.com. Remove the space. Streamboo.com. Remove the space. And if you guys are doing betting or what have you, again, buyer beware. UFL bought Tampa Bay Bandits trademark. Yay, there you go. Man, that's going to be great to cover a team that's in the backyard. They need to get Tom Brady to come on board on that. Get Tom Brady. I think the league is kind of backpedaling right now, but I think they can get back in the game with some strategic, smart moves. I think you have a chance. I agree with the Stallion fans. I would not move the Stallions. Yes, the Stallions do not draw as big as the Battlehawks. They're kind of like in the middle, but they're definitely not at the bottom. And they won 3 championships in a row. The only year they didn't make it to the championship, well, I wouldn't say the only year they didn't make it, but they didn't make it to the championship game this year. They won 3 in a row. And I think that they should consider not getting rid of the Panthers either, because the Panthers, they were going up. They were trending up in attendance. And, I'd have to say the Memphis Showboats. Let me stop right there with the Memphis Showboats. Rest in peace to Fred Smith, short for Frederick Smith, founder of FedEx, chairman of the board there, who passed away. May rest in peace. And the reason why he was so important to UFL is, for those who don't know, Fred Smith was subsidizing, basically giving the UFL some money so they can keep the team in Memphis. Well, now, unfortunately, he's passed away. That is a big question mark. And the reason why he was doing that was because the Memphis Showboats, their attendance was pretty poor, which is kind of shocking because they were not a new team. They've been around for a while, but, I've been to Memphis. It's a great city. I'm surprised people didn't want to come out to some games there. But I can understand them moving on from Memphis just because they were at the bottom. Yeah, that's a great point. Memphis Showboats were originally the Tampa Bay Bandits. They were at the bottom at the attendance, and the Roughnecks was pretty abysmal. I'm not gonna lie to you. They had 3 teams in Texas too, and usually when you have a triangle, 3 is a crowd, and the Roughnecks were getting hurt with that attendance. So I can understand the Roughnecks, and may he rest in peace with Fred Smith. I can understand Memphis Showboats as well. That's it. I would not move the Panthers, and I would not move the Stallions. I just think you're going to upset too many people. And the Panthers were in the Super Bowl, championship game. They called it the championship game in the UFL. So I just think that's a bit much, getting rid of the team that was just in the championship game. But hey, you got a billionaire owner. He's obviously doing something right. There are some questions. Who's going to stick around? Who's going to go? Let me just see here. And yep, they applied for Tampa Bay Bandits. That should be cool for the team to be much closer. And then you guys need to come out. There's an opportunity I mentioned about the UFL showcases, specifically the showcase in Switzerland. I've been in contact with Baumgartner Sports, Dominic Baumgartner, who is the attorney who is running, their firm is running this showcase here in Switzerland, Zurich, Switzerland. And it's going to be fantastic. There's opportunities. If you guys want to go ahead and sponsor, they're looking for a minimum sponsor of $1,000 or better, but you will get showcase in Europe. So that is out there if you want to be a sponsor as well. Definitely go ahead and I'll connect you to the right people and you can do that. So yes, you can definitely. And if you cannot make it out to Switzerland, the great thing is, whoops, let me just see something here. Okay, good. The great thing is, if you can't make it out to Switzerland, there is showcases for the UFL. Make sure you check theufl.com and check out those showcases. You know, go out there and show them your talent. Go out there and show them what you can do. You know, this is definitely a shock to the system with their adding a new owner. I haven't spoken to him, and there's going to be some changes there because he's got the keys to the Bentley there. He's got the keys to the Bentley. So, yes, definitely. My goal is the league to survive, whether they're in Tampa or Orlando. I want the league to survive because I see the value in the UFL, and definitely you guys should see it too. I will also want to go ahead and make sure that we talk a little bit about the NFL. Oh, let me just, before I go into the NFL, I'm going to go ahead and share you guys my thoughts on the Shannon Sharpe. You know, what happened with that scenario. I didn't get a chance to talk about it the last show. And I'm going to give you my thoughts on this. Okay, let me just see here. What do we need as a coach for the Bandits to draw the fans in? I do think if they can recruit somehow Tom Brady to be a part of the Tampa Bay Bandits, that's number one. I think that would draw fans. Props to Tom Brady, by the way. He just unveiled the statue for the Pats today. And I'm going to show you too as well, that statue. But I definitely do think since Tom Brady was at not this year's championship game, last year's championship game, you know, I definitely do think they should reconnect and talk to him and see if he would be part of the league some way. And, you know, if it's not full ownership, can we have you as an ambassador? You know, something. I just think you got to take advantage of that. And let me just take a look here. Let me get you guys some nice pictures of this and pull this up here for you. Yeah, I just think you got to take advantage of it. I just think you got to get Tom Brady on board. As far as coaches, maybe they could take a look at a Tampa Bay Buccaneers former coach and see if one of them would be willing to do it. I think for the league survival, they need to lean somewhat on the NFL because there's the NFL and there's everybody else. I just think you need to. I think at this point you need to lean on something with the NFL. Forget the ego, forget the clout. You need to lean on something. For example, the WNBA, they lean on the NBA. And I'm not saying that the UFL needs to lean on the NFL per se, but they need to use some of the people who have been very successful in the NFL. Maybe Gerald McCoy, maybe somebody who's a former Bucks that was interested in coaching, and that would be a great thing. And shout out to Coach. Let me just make sure this. I'm trying to get a picture for you guys, but let me just see here. Yeah, I mean, you got to, and I just think, let me just pull this up here. And props to Coach Peyton Pardee. He's doing the Tampa Bay Bucks coaching course, so he's got interest in doing that, and that's really cool that he's involved. And I think I'm just checking something here. Oh. Yeah, so let me just pull up a good picture here for the Tom Brady statue. Let me see here. Yeah, I mean, that's it. Statue. I mean, it's the NFL and everybody else. You could tell they didn't go cheap on this statue. It looks phenomenal. Looks great. And definitely, it's Tom Brady, man. I was surprised they didn't have like a fist pump, when he he does that. But I guess they wanted to have something that when you do something that's an action type move of like that, I just think there's things that could go wrong, and I think they just wanted to make sure it came out like Tom. They didn't do too much. They didn't want to have a situation like we were talking about D Wade, and I just think they just wanted to make sure they did something. They played something that looked like him, played it safe, and sometimes you got to play it safe. You got to do that. So let me pull up this picture here. I found one that works really well. There you go. Let me just move the banner there so you guys can see it a little bit better. Yeah. 12 bronze statue. Congratulations, Tom Brady. They need to get Tom involved, man. They need to get Tom involved, especially being in Tampa Bay. I'm sure he would be open to hear what they have to say. And you have to lean on some of the greats, and I would say get a coach, but get somebody who, I would say get a coach, but get somebody who is going to do a great job, and somebody who is going to be willing to, coach, but also have a very good team, because you don't want to have a team that's not going to be good, because if you have a team that's not good, definitely people ain't coming to see you, especially in Tampa. So I would just do that. I think the Rowdies would be a great place to play. That's a really nice place. And you don't have to do too much to get it in form ready. Yeah. I think that's what you want to do. Let me just go ahead and and props to Tom Brady. Got that statue out there. That's awesome. And Okay, yes. And I did want to share my thoughts on the Shannon Sharp ESPN departure. I did want to say something about that. And let me do that for you guys here. Let me pull up that statue picture one more time so you can see it. Yeah, I did want to share my thoughts on that. And you know, let me give you the positive. Shannon Sharp, it is just really phenomenal what the work he's been doing as far as getting to where he's at in the media. In fact, yeah, he's got great personality, very engaging. There's a reason why he has the viewership, he has the numbers, and he's just fantastic, phenomenal. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer, definitely credible in what he's saying. So definitely that's on the positives there. But the reason why I wanted to make sure I talked about this is because these are the same things I kind of tell guys. You know, you have to stay focused on what you're achieving, what you've achieved, what you want to achieve and keep accomplishing. You have to have tunnel vision, and you cannot get derailed because of three factors that will always seem to, play a part in a man's success. Number one, chasing girls, the lust. You cannot, you have to stay focused in what you're doing. One of the reasons why I became a top performer in corporate America, top performing, salesperson for many, many years, is that I was focused on staying focused on what the goals are. Was there attractive women that was around the workplace? Absolutely. Was there women that flirted and tried to get with me? Of course. But when you have goals and you're ambitious and you're looking this way and not looking to the left and right, you notice those things, but they don't let those things derail you. Quite frankly, I can say it no other way, but Shannon Sharp got outsmarted by an OnlyFans girl. He got outsmarted, completely outsmarted by an OnlyFans girl. And so much so that he literally retired her. Right after the settlement, they went to say, retiring. And, you know, that's what ended up happening. And what ended up happening was because of that settlement, the OnlyFans girl retired. And what ended up happening on Shannon's side is he fortunately got expired with his job and he got terminated, and it's just a sad situation. Those things will haunt you as a man. Chasing lust. Number two, it's the girls. Number one, two, the glory. Your ego. Letting your ego get in your way. That's another thing that can derail someone. You have to stay grounded in what you want to achieve in life. You can't let ego get in the way of success. And that can be a huge factor to derail a lot of men. They have some success. That's even worse when you have some success to you. And even if you have a lot of success, even worse, you won't listen to people. You won't listen to honest advice. You'll put your ego ahead of what you should be doing. And you won't be thinking properly. You'll be always egocentric rather than doing moves that makes the most amount of sense. For example, like you when I mentioned I was a top performer, I could have let ego get in my way. Hey, I don't have to listen to my coach. I don't have to listen to this person giving advice. I don't have to listen to that person getting advice. I don't have to listen to feedback. Those things right there, your ego, will get in your way. That is, girls' glory. And another thing that will get your money is gold, so to speak. Money, making decisions for clout, showing off, things of that nature. You know, you, those things. It's if people don't like you for who you are and you can't be true to who you are, why would you want them to like you anyway? Because they're going to find out eventually who the real person is. It's just a matter of time. They might not find out that same day, might find out a week, 2 weeks, a month, might be even 6 months, might even be a year. They're going to find out. Must just be true to who you are, you know. But yes, all too often in our society, I see successful people it has nothing to do with what they're doing as far as their success. What they did, their success pattern was evident, but then they get derailed by lust. And the reason why I bring this up is because I don't want you to fall into that pattern. And I see it. I see it. Guys, they just see a pretty girl and they lose their mind. They're not thinking right. I'm not going to mention that story today, but I got a story that will blow your socks off as far as guys' lust. And it's almost like it's unbelievable. Not today. Won't share it today, but I will share it here on the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. But yeah, see a pretty girl and they just lose all thought process. At least one great thing is that I've worked in corporate America for 30 plus years. And the great thing with that is that I have experience in seeing a beautiful woman, seeing attractive women. I can handle myself. Some guys are not versed. They can't handle themselves. You got to get versed in that. And the best way to avoid those situations, stay focused on the task at hand. Don't let fantasies, that's what it is. Fantasies derail you. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe, as they said in the movie. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Unfortunately, I hate to call it like that, but Shannon Sharp fell for the banana in the tailpipe. He retired a girl, an OnlyFans girl, of all things. And imagine that you retired an OnlyFans girl who, they on OnlyFans. For those who don't know, you're getting content for selling fantasies. Selling fantasies. That's what you're getting content. You're getting paid for selling fantasies. Most of the guys that you see, most of the girls that you see on OnlyFans, let me be real with you, they usually have a boyfriend. Think about it, guys. Somebody's operating the camera. In most of those content situations, most of them, maybe I can know it more because I work in the media, but somebody's operating the camera. And usually the content you see, it's not from a phone. You could kind of tell because as they're moving, you could see that it's not usually on a tripod. Someone's moving along with them. And if they have very, very good content, it's usually their boyfriends are the one, because in order for you to feel comfortable in that situation, the person on the end of the camera has to feel comfortable with you too. It has to be a two-way street. It's usually their boyfriends. That's who's operating the camera. So I'm saving you guys millions. It's usually their boyfriend. I show you guys content all the time. And I have a lot more other content I'm going to show you guys as far as a lot of great things coming around the corner with the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. You want to stay connected. But yes, it's usually their boyfriends. They're not going to tell you that. They're not going to say it. They're not going to tell you that. But usually it's their boyfriends who's operating the camera. Think about it. There's somebody who's filming them. The things that I laugh at, I'm just saving you guys thousands and millions and millions of dollars, and I'm keeping you out of trouble. Look, the thing that makes me laugh is when an attractive girl walks out of, let's say, a store or building or anywhere, and they walk in and you don't notice somebody with the camera. You're looking down and you're just walking like a shot. Like, come on. You don't notice a camera. Every time that I've filmed somebody, and granted, I don't just walk up to people with a camera on my phone, even though I work in the media. I just don't do that. But I'll ask them for the interview and things of that nature. But I guarantee you one thing: if I was standing right by the door with a camera, a phone, or anything, that person would notice. Well, the reason why they're acting like they don't notice you is because it's not something that's just impromptu. Their boyfriend is out there with the camera and he's filming them walking by, and they post it up and you're all excited. But the reality is your chance of getting with them is very, very nil to none. And the more attractive they are, the less your chances are, not the more. That's just the way it is. And don't waste your money. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your job and opportunity. Just don't. Don't. Having said that, us fellas got to look out, man. You can't fall for stuff like that. You just can't. Stay connected to the Allen Alford Sports Talk show. Do things that are positive. Guess what? Coming out January 13th, 2026 at Carnegie Hall is something positive. You know, spend the $40 to $140. Don't go to OnlyFans. Do that. Show up to that. Come on, fellas, man. Yeah. Don't retire OnlyFans girls because of you just getting derailed, man. Just getting derailed. And there's a couple stories I could tell you, man. I mean, yeah. Gotta stay focused, man. Have a goal. Stay focused on that goal. The right one will come by. Stop living fantasies. And what I did want to say also is, let me give you guys an update on a few things here. Oh, yes. I definitely wanted to bring this up. This is Major League Baseball. And let me do that. Talk about Major League Baseball. Yes, the great news is the Allen Alford Sports Talk show is going to be giving you guys some great content for the Little League and Major League Baseball Little League game. It's going to be played at Little League Field. We did not get approved to cover that event, which I was not really, being real with you, wasn't really shocked on that because it is a small field, and small field, a lot of media applying for it. That usually doesn't bode well, unfortunately, for the Allen Alford Sports Talk show in all times. That's just the way it is. We will get there, though, where you're going to have an all-access pass on almost all the venues. But I did apply for it. I was not shocked. I did not get it. Not being negative, but just being realistic. It's a small, they were literally playing on a Little League field, and it was a small venue. So I know right then and there that wasn't going to bode well. But the great news is we are going to give you guys some great video and a lot of great content here in the Allen Alford Sports Talk show of the Little League baseball game. Let me give you some information on it. And also, that's another thing. Tickets are not even being sold to the public because of the venue being sold so small. And so it is okay. So let me give you some more information on it here. This thing doesn't want to cooperate right now, but yeah. So I will be giving you guys some insight on that, and that's going to be fantastic. And Yes, it's the Major League Baseball Little League Classic. That's what it is. It's going to be Sunday, August 17th, 2025. This will serve as a home contest for the Mets. It'll be presented by New York Life in Williamsport, PA. And yes, so this game, the tickets aren't, for the public. It's too small a venue. But we did submit to go. Historic Bowman Field, Williamsport, Pennsylvania. You can watch it on ESPN. I will be able to get some of the feed for it, so that'll be really cool. I'm gonna share that with you guys, and it's gonna be awesome. So, yes, and let me just take a look here. You can, let's see, registration. Yeah, I was gonna say you could maybe do the sweepstakes, try to win it. The sweepstakes is officially closed. Okay, let me read what it says here. As a tradition for this annual occasion, major leaguers from both the Mets and Mariners will attend Little League World Series games early in the day on August 17th, demonstrating their commitment to helping grow the game at the youth level and engage with young fans. Later that evening, Little League World Series players and their families will fill Journey Bank Ballpark at historic Bowman Field for the Little League Classic game. The Little League Classic was launched in August 2017 between the Philadelphia Pirates and the St. Louis Cardinals. The Mets are making their second Little League Classic appearance, following up their 2018 matchup against the Philadelphia Phillies. The ensuing events included the Pirates and the Chicago Cubs in 2019, the Cleveland Indians and the Los Angeles Angels in 2021, the Baltimore Orioles and the Boston Red Sox in 2022, the Washington Nationals and Phillies in 2023, and the New York Yankees and Detroit Tigers in 2024. Major League Baseball Little League Classic 2025. So I will give you guys some insight on that, and that will be really, really cool. So definitely look forward to that. And definitely, I did want to mention another event here. Let me pull up that as well, which I'm going to post that as well this week. So you guys make sure you haven't done so already. Make sure you follow on all social media platforms. In fact, I'm going to pull that up here for you guys so you get a chance to see it. This is awesome. It's going to be another fantastic event. There you go. Baseball legend birthday celebration. You're invited to celebrate Al Lopez's birthday with an exclusive panel featuring Orestes Destrade and Honorable Robin Fusion. Wow. So that's going to be great. Orestes Destrade, man, that guy is fantastic. I could talk baseball to him all day, man. So that's Wednesday, August 20th. Not this Wednesday coming up, the following Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Tampa Baseball Museum. 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Wednesday, August 20th. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful event. I will post this up this coming week. And the beautiful thing is the Alford Sports Talk Show will be covering this event. So we will definitely be there as well. Thank you to the Mindamata and the Tampa Baseball Museum. You guys are fantastic, man. I just appreciate you so much. Orestes Destrade. So that's awesome. We'll be in the house. Yes. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm definitely looking forward to that event. It's going to be wonderful. You guys need to come out and support. And anything the Tampa Baseball Museum does, it's always awesome. And in fact, let me pull up a picture of here, last but not least, of Orestes Destrade. Let me just take a look here. I'll pull it up for you guys so you have a picture of him as well. Let's see here. Okay. Yep. All right. Pull that up for you guys. Orestes Destrade. Yeah. There he is right there. That's awesome, man. That is awesome. Yep. Got to thank you guys, man. You make these opportunities possible. And just let me give you the social media platforms there. Make sure you like and subscribe to, if you haven't done so already, right there at the Allen Alfords, right there on YouTube. And Facebook at Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. Instagram, Allen Alford. If you type in my name, usually most social media platforms, you'll find me. And Twitter or X, Allen Alford. And definitely appreciate you guys. You guys are tremendous. And I did want to go ahead and give props to our songwriter, Sam Scola Songs, and his wife, Mary. Sam Scola is the one who sings the intro song and the outro song. There he is right there. Sam Scola Songs. So definitely, let me in fact show that for you too. Oh yes, thank you, Sam Scola Songs. Yeah, so definitely really appreciate him as well. Great thing about Sam Scola Songs is all of the great songs you hear are available on YouTube and Spotify. Definitely, that's awesome. And we got an opportunity here for you here on the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. That's right. Right there, Sam Scola Songs as his poster. And there you go. That's his email. singalongwithsam@gmail.com. Singalongwithsam@gmail.com. If you have an opportunity for Sam Scola Songs, that means contract, maybe doing a song for, of course, a fee, anything that is a business opportunity, that's what that email is for. Singalongwithsam@gmail.com. Singalongwithsam@gmail.com. No spam, please. Deals, opportunities, no spam. Appreciate Sam Scola Songs and his wife, Mary, all the way from Maine. Really appreciate you. Sing along with Sam at gmail.com. No spam. Deals. So yes, and definitely make sure you guys keep don't fall in a trap with lust. Keep your ego in check. Don't waste all your money. You'll be all right. And definitely appreciate you guys joining. Thank you for watching another great episode of the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. I will be back, God willing, of course, next Friday. Same bad time, same bad channel, 8:30 p.m. CST time, 9:30 p.m. EST time. I always look forward to you guys, and this is always great to definitely have this show. It's a real blessing to have the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. We definitely have a lot more coming around the corner. That is going to be, when the time is right, I'll explain those things to you guys. But yes, stay connected to the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. Much more to come, much more for you guys. I appreciate definitely all the comments. There was quite a few. Yusef Arline, Joes, _10 and all the people that chimed in on Instagram. And that's fantastic. Really appreciate all of you. Thank you again for being great fans, supporters of the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. Be blessed, be well, have a fantastic weekend. Make sure you watch the Bucks this weekend. I'll talk about the game next Friday and a lot more here on the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. Thank you again. Be blessed, be well. Take care of yourself and have a great, great weekend. May God be with you. Take care.
It's the end of the show. Let's thank all the fans before we go. It's the end of the show. The Allen Allen Sports Talk Radio Show. Thanking our special guest. Thanking our sponsor. It's the end of the show. Tune in again for next week's show. It's the end of the show. Thanking our host before we go. It's the end of the show.